What's going on? We back with the Boston Clinic and more. Coming with a movie review. Only time we did a movie review before was Tupac All Eyes on Me. So we're gonna break down Marvel Studios Avengers Infinity Warfare. I wanted to make sure a lot of people seen it first. I seen the movie Friday morning, a little bit under the weather, but it worked out. For one, I gotta say Marvel did an excellent job, leading up to this Avenger movie. Because, before I get into it, it's probably going to be some spoiler alerts. Let me tell you that if you haven't seen the movie, you probably don't want to listen to what I got to say. I'm not saying I'm an expert on movie reviews or I know, everything about movie reviews. I'm still working at it. But yeah, they did an excellent job, kind of doing everybody's individual, story first. Unlike the Avengers with DC, you mainly see Batman and Superman. You didn't know much about Aquaman. You didn't know much about the Flash, and Wonder Woman got her own movie. But in this one, all the major Avengers, all the major people had their own movies or were a part of another major movie. Captain America had 3. The first Avenger, Winter Soldier, which had the best hand-to-hand combat I seen, since the turn of the century in 2000. That movie was amazing. We talking about hand-to-hand combat and action. The Civil War, that was off the chain as well. And it led up to this one. You had Black Panther had his own movie. The Hulk had a lot of his movies. Guardians of the Galaxy had 2 movies. Thor had a few movies. I haven't caught the last Thor. I've been trying to watch. I'm going to get to it pretty soon. And, Doctor Strange got his own movie. Obviously, Spider-Man had his own movie. And Iron Man had several movies. So, you had a good background about each character. And you didn't have to go research or they didn't have to waste movie time getting into these guys' background. All these stories kind of intertwined it. With Thanos. Thanos was a thing in some of the Captain America, or the Iron Man. He was a thing in the Galaxy of the Guardians. And Thanos, it was good. It was good acting. He didn't look fake or nothing. He lived up to his reputation in the comic book, I believe. And, the a superhero movie is only as good as its villain, And, to start the movie off, the Hulk, Thor was getting beat down by Thanos' crew. And he didn't have all the Infinity Stones. He had a couple of them at the time. And, Thor had one, so he had to go see him. And obviously, spoiler alert, he killed his brother Loki. Loki tried to set him up with the Hulk. Hulk came in smashing on Thanos. And Thanos broke him down with, easy. Even I think without the power of the Infinity Stones, I think he broke him down just off of, off of just his knowledge of how to fight. And his combat skills, and the Hulk, from that point on, did make another appearance in the movie. He was scary, and Thanos was just going on to the next planet. He killed, he wrecked, Thor's ship, and I like the way that a lot of these, some of these superheroes met each other, how it intertwined it. The Galaxy of the Guardians found, Thor floating in space. Didn't know much about him. They exchanged pleasantries. He took the raccoon and Groot. He called the raccoon a rabbit. I forget the raccoon's name. He called him a rabbit the whole time. And I called him the leader of the Galaxy, the Galaxy Guardians. And Star-Lord didn't like that. But, they had good game plan, but it's just, some mental lapses they had. And I'll get to that in a minute. And some, let emotion get into it. But, Thanos was doing his thing, He was going, from planet to planet. Trying to, get these stones and trying to control the universe. And, like I said, he played the role. He didn't look fake. He looked like a real villain. He lived up to his reputation. He was very knowledgeable. He had some compassion, but guess what? He had to do what he had to do. When he had to do it, he had to be cutthroat. And, he had to make some tough decisions in this movie, which I won't spoil. But, he had to make some sacrifices to get what he wanted. And he wasn't afraid to make those sacrifices. A lot of times he didn't think twice, but his henchmen, his children or whatever you wanted to call them, they was whooping ass, other than when Steve Rogers came in with with his crew and beat the fuck out of them and send them back to wherever the fuck they came from. They came back to Wakanda because they was trying to get the Infinity Stone out of Vision head, and that's what be killing me. They be these superheroes be wanting to have compassion. They don't want to make the tough calls sometimes, and they want to be a little bit soft when they had to end up doing what they had to do to Vision anyway. He ended up getting fucking decapitated anyway, and the stone getting removed from his head anyway. They should have just killed the motherfucker off GP and then destroyed the stone. They wouldn't have had the issue they had in the end. It was like several opportunities they had to do with the right thing, and could have cut the opportunities out. They could have destroyed the time stone. Doctor Strange didn't want to do that. Him and Iron Man was arguing over that. And I gotta say, Iron Man, earned my respect. I didn't like that motherfucker at all. His 3 movies was good, but I just didn't like him as a superhero. But in this one, he gained a lot of respect from Thanos. He was, firing off on Thanos. Thanos said, "You ain't the only motherfucker with knowledge." He trying to kill them, but Iron Man, healed himself back up, and Doctor Strange gave him the gem, the stone, before he killed, Tony Stark. But Thanos said he had a lot of respect for Tony Stark, so Tony Stark held it down. He had, Spider-Man looking all bossy and shit. But they had, Star-Lord, came up with a good plan. They almost had the glove that Thanos had on that when the Thor guys made. Had it off, and then Star-Lord, I ain't gonna give it away, lost his fucking cool. That's one thing I won't give away about the fight, about the movie. It's one of the main things that happened. Then he goes over to Wakanda where they having a war at, and he almost he could have got defeated again in Wakanda, but Thor, instead of taking the motherfucking axe and throwing it through, throwing it and cutting his hand off, Thor takes the motherfucking not the axe or whatever the fuck he had, I think it was an axe, puts it in his chest, and then they didn't do what they supposed to do with Vision. They should have killed his ass and took the stone out and destroyed it. So at the end of the day, it left a hell of a cliffhanger, man. And I want to have a nice little discussion in the comment section, get enough commenters in here talking about the movie, and then, like I said, a spoiler alert. I had to say certain things about the movie, but Black Panther didn't play a big role in the movie as far as having a primary focus, but not a lot of superheroes did. It was a lot of the screen sharing to go around. Well, I think the way the writers and the producers put this movie together, everybody got a good enough face time to know, and they always had a good lead up to knowing their background with the individual movies they did, to know what was going on. So they didn't waste no screen time with backgrounds or what happened or flashbacks or shit like that. It was a couple flashbacks, with in there, but it wasn't a lot of them, and this was a beautiful thing for them to expand the Avengers with all these different characters, and you know what, it meshed very, very well. This was a beautiful superhero movie, even though the ending, which I had to give away, where Thanos kind of Thor had opportunity to finish him off and cut his hand off, which he didn't. That was a tactical mistake by Thor. Even though that he left that on the table. He let he let Thanos get away and go chill. I think it's gonna be some more, superhero appearances in this movie. I seen at least one guy I didn't see before that might can help them a little bit more. But it's gonna be some more superhero appearances. I think at least one I can think of. But yeah, the way it ended, it caught a lot of people off guard. But they didn't know it's gonna be a second Avengers Infinity War come out next year, and I had to ask about that shit. After the movie, somebody said, "Oh, it's gonna be another one." So it's a part 2 of the movie. I think the ending fucked a lot of people up, but sometimes it's good to let the villain win. At least get a little win. We tired of seeing the same shit with a superhero come on top, the superhero come on top. Your superhero movie is only as good as the villain, and Marvel definitely killed this one again. This is amongst one of the greatest superheroes movies of all time. I love Black Panther. I've seen it a few times, so I can't really say that it's better or not better than Black Panther because I had to go see Infinity War again, but it definitely was excellent. It's definitely amongst one of the greatest superhero movies of all time. Marvel did their thing, and they did it the right way. They built up each character who was a part of a major movie or had their own major movie, so you didn't have to worry about flashbacks. You knew everything about the Galaxy of the Guardians you need to know to this point. You knew everything about Black Panther. You knew everything about Captain America, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Thor. You knew the Hulk. You knew a lot about these characters, so Only person you really had to have a fill out period with was Thanos. But if you know the comic book game, you knew Thanos. Already knew about Thanos. And he was cutthroat. A lot of combat skills, and your superhero movie is only as good as your villain. And the villain was good, and they needed everybody else, help to kind of take them down. But the thing about this movie is, a lot of superheroes were split up, so they never really all got to work together to dog walk on Thanos. So, some of them was on one planet, and other planet, some of them was in Wakanda on America. So they all haven't really touched bases to come up with a game plan to this point in the movie. So the second one is gonna outsell this one. I'll tell you that right now, because everybody gonna want to see the end and how the second one gonna play out. It's probably gonna be equally as long, or if not a little bit longer. And yeah, I definitely give this movie 5 stars. This is one of the greatest movie money I spent on movies. Forget a bootleg. Sometimes I like to go see the movie experience at the movies with the big screen and the speakers, and now they showing it in 4K with the reclining chairs and the high ass snacks as usual. But you can sneak them in. But I can't wait till the second one. Yeah, I'm gonna watch this one a couple more times. Probably watch it on Cody after I go to the movies one or two more times. But it's definitely worth seeing. Hopefully I didn't spoil it a lot for you guys. Hopefully we can do more movie reviews and kind of switch the game up a little bit. It's your boy CJ Goodfella. Check for us for any sports news in the description: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those things, man. And we gone.